Lost Civilization of the Maya.
Subscribe, like, comment.
From jungle thrones to a fading echo, the story of the Maya. The year is 869 AD. In the heart of Central America, the largest city in the region is slowly falling silent. For decades, not a single new stone has been carved on the giant temples of Tikal. Its markets have emptied. Its palaces stand abandoned. In this once mighty city of 60,000, only scattered communities remain, listening to the wind sweep between the pyramids. No one was left to record why. Or perhaps they knew, but no one was left to read their words. This is the story of one of history's greatest mysteries, how a people who discovered the concept of zero tracked the stars with breathtaking accuracy and developed one of the world's most complex writing systems could seemingly vanish. But this is not a story of absence. It is a story of transformation. The seed of a civilization. The story of the Maya began around 1800 BCE, under the jungle canopy of present-day Guatemala and Mexico. In small family groups, they lit their first campfires in the valleys. They planted maize, beans, and squash. For these newly settled people, the world was simple. Let the rain fall, let the earth be fertile, and it was enough. But by 600 BCE, those small settlements were no longer just villages. Towns had been established, and cities like Nakbe and El Mirador began to stretch towards the sky in the middle of the forest. Consider El Mirador. This city, still sleeping in the jungle today, housed one of the largest building complexes of its time. Its Ladanta pyramid surpassed Egypt's Great Pyramid of Khufu in sheer volume. And this was built by a people who had not yet formed a state, whose technology was still in its infancy. What did these people want from these pyramids? A simple answer: to be closer to the gods. In Maya cosmology, the universe was a three-tiered house of the sky, the earth, and the underworld. The pyramids were the points of passage between these worlds. A king who ascended to the top was no longer merely human. He was a bridge between the divine and the mortal. This idea would stamp its mark on the entire history of Maya civilization. Masters of time and sky. What truly set the Maya apart from other ancient civilizations? Many built pyramids. Many developed writing. Many created complex religious rituals. But the relationship the Maya forged with the sky was something else entirely. With the naked eye, Maya astronomers calculated the solar year to be 365 to 420 days. Modern science's calculation, 365.2422 days. The difference is a mere 17 seconds. They calculated the 584-day synodic cycle of Venus and applied this knowledge to their war strategies. The emergence of Venus as the morning star was considered an auspicious time for battle. It was their war star. And then there was the calendar. The Maya calendar was actually three separate systems, intricately interlocked. There was the 365-day Hab, which governed daily life and agriculture. The 260-day Tzolkin was a sacred calendar that determined religious ceremonies and personal destinies. And the long count calendar, a cosmic map of time stretching thousands of years from a mythical start date in 3114 BCE. This is the calendar that was famously misinterpreted as a Mayan prophecy for 2012. The world was not ending. A great cosmic cycle was simply completing, and a new one was beginning. For the Maya, this was a cause for celebration, not panic. Their writing system was equally sophisticated. The Maya hieroglyphic system was both logographic and syllabic, meaning they could write a word with a single symbol or spell it out phonetically. This flexibility made the system incredibly rich and nuanced. For centuries, no one could read this script. Until the 1950s, Maya history was a collection of meaningless patterns carved on stone. That is, until Soviet linguist Yuri Knorozov developed a systematic method for its decipherment. And when the glyphs were finally read, they revealed not just religious doctrines, but a human story of war, political intrigue, and royal dynasties. The rise of Tikal and a superpower rivalry. By 250 AD, the classic period was dawning, and one city was poised to dominate the jungle: Tikal. Located in what is now northern Guatemala, this city held a powerful asset: an alliance. Hundreds of kilometers away in the highlands of Mexico lay the greatest metropolis in the Americas at the time, Teotihuacan. With a population exceeding 100,000, this massive city was the economic and military heart of Mesoamerica. Tikal became its ally. In 378 AD, a general known as Spear Thrower Owl arrived in Tikal from Teotihuacan. The existing king was killed, and a new dynasty with Teotihuacan ties was installed. This was not an invasion, but a fusion. Tikal gained access to Teotihuacan's obsidian weapons and vast trade networks. For the next 2 centuries, Tikal grew into a sprawling metropolis of over 60,000 people, one of the most populous cities of its era. But as Tikal reached its zenith, a rival power was consolidating in the north: the Karnul dynasty, known as the Snake Kingdom. For a long time, the seat of this dynasty was a mystery. Research now indicates that they were a mobile power, eventually establishing their capital at Calakmul. The first Snake King, Stone-Hand Jaguar, displayed political genius. Instead of open war, he used diplomacy. He sent emissaries to Tikal's allied cities, offering gifts, marriage alliances, and prestigious titles. Over the years, the cities surrounding Tikal switched their allegiance one by one, encircling Tikal in a ring of enemies without a single battle being fought. Then, on April 29th, 562 AD, the Snake King, Sky Witness, made his move. With coordinated attacks from the east and west, Tikal was besieged and defeated. Its king was captured and sacrificed. What followed was 130 years of silence. For this period, known as the Tikal hiatus, not a single monument was erected in the city. Tikal was not abandoned, but crushed, a vassal to the Snake Kingdom, stripped of its honor and its voice in history. A king's revenge and a Pyrrhic victory. After 130 years of humiliation, Tikal re-emerged with a vengeance under a new king, Jasau Chan Kawil I. In August of 695 AD, the armies of Tikal marched on Calakmul. The great Snake King, Yuknum Yichak Kak, or Jaguar Paw, met them on the battlefield. The battle was fierce, but Tikal was victorious. King Jaguar Paw was captured, and Tikal carved its victory in stone, its voice returning in a single powerful statement. Jasor brought down the flint and shield of Yuknum Yichak Kak. With this triumph, Tikal entered a new era of construction. Temple 1, today an iconic symbol of Maya civilization, was built. This 47-meter pyramid, rising above the jungle canopy, was both a monument to victory and Jasor's tomb. But this turning point may have come too late. Tikal had won, but the system it fought to reclaim was already beginning to crumble. Art, ritual, and life in the stone cities. Amidst the wars, these people were also creating some of the most beautiful art in human history. In Palenque, nestled in the jungles of Chiapas, Mexico, art reached a pinnacle of refinement. When King Tikal the Great died in 683 AD, he was buried deep within the Temple of the Inscriptions. The stone lid of his sarcophagus is considered a masterpiece of Maya art. For years it was misinterpreted, with some even claiming it depicted an astronaut. The true meaning is far richer. Tikal is shown at the moment of death, falling into the jaws of the underworld, while the world tree rises above him, symbolizing his journey to the realm of the gods. In Copan, Honduras, a different kind of grandeur was achieved: the hieroglyphic stairway. Its 63 steps contain over 2,500 glyphs, forming one of the longest known Maya texts, detailing 400 years of the city's royal history. And there was music, dance, textiles, and pottery. Daily life was rich with art and ritual, from cacao ceremonies to the sacred ball game, where it is still debated whether the winners or losers were sacrificed. The Great Collapse. Then the cities began to empty. The last monument in Copan was erected in 790 AD. The last inscription in Quirigua was carved in 822 AD. Construction in Tikal stopped around 869 AD. One by one, the great cities of the southern lowlands fell silent. By 900 AD, a region that may have been home to millions was largely abandoned. Why? For years, science has searched for an answer, and it appears to be not a single cause, but a chain reaction of crises. First, drought. Sediment cores from Lake Chichancanab in the Yucatan show evidence of severe, prolonged droughts between 800 and 1000 AD. The Maya lived in a seasonal desert. Despite the jungle appearance, there was little rain from January to May. They built vast systems of reservoirs and canals, but these systems depended on the seasonal rains, which failed to come. Second, deforestation. The Maya cleared vast tracts of forest for agriculture and to fuel the fires needed to create lime plaster for their temples. It's estimated that it took 20 trees to produce just 1 square meter of plaster. Deforested land reflects more sunlight than it absorbs, leading to less evaporation, fewer clouds, and less rain. Human activity was amplifying the natural drought. Third, systemic fragility. The political structure of the Maya was a vicious cycle. The king had to act like a god, ensuring victories and agricultural bounty. When the droughts hit, the king's power waned. As his authority crumbled, warfare between cities intensified dramatically after 750 AD. Wars killed farmers and destroyed fields, further straining a system already on the brink. The collapse was not a single event, but a slow, agonizing decay, transformation, and resistance. But the story did not end there. As the southern cities withered, a new power was rising in the northern Yucatan Peninsula, Chichen Itza. Its iconic El Castillo pyramid is a marvel of astronomical alignment. During the spring and autumn equinoxes, the setting sun casts a series of triangular shadows on the staircase, creating the illusion of a serpent slithering down the pyramid. Chichen Itza, which peaked around 1000 AD, was mysteriously abandoned by 1221. It was followed by Mayapan, which tried to rule the Yucatan, but was a shadow of the classic period's grandeur. In 1441, a revolt brought Mayapan down in flames, and the Maya political landscape fractured into small, competing city-states. In 1519, Spanish ships appeared off the coast of Mexico. While Hernan Cortés would conquer the Aztec Empire in a matter of years, the conquest of the Maya was a long, brutal affair that lasted nearly 2 centuries. There was no single emperor to defeat, no central capital to capture. Each city-state fought, negotiated, and resisted individually. For decades, the last independent Maya kingdom, Nojpetén, held out on an island in Lake Petén Itzá. Finally, in March 1697, a Spanish assault by boat overwhelmed the city's defenders. The last independent Maya city had fallen, ending 3,700 years of independent Maya political history. The Maya today. But did the Maya die? No. Today, over 7 million Maya descendants live in Guatemala, Mexico, Belize, Honduras, and El Salvador. More than 30 Mayan languages are still spoken. The Tzolkin calendar is still used in the highlands of Guatemala. And the discoveries continue. Modern LiDAR technology, which can digitally remove the forest canopy, has revealed a civilization far vaster than ever imagined. A 2018 scan in northern Guatemala uncovered more than 60,000 previously unknown structures, including houses, palaces, and defensive fortifications. What we thought we knew about the Maya was just the tip of the iceberg. This civilization is still speaking, still slowly revealing its secrets from beneath the jungle. The story of the Maya is one of war and love, of kings and scribes, of birth and rebirth. The collapse was not a single cataclysm, but a convergence of drought, war, human ambition, and environmental limits, the same threats that face many civilizations today. The story of the Maya does not just tell us about the past. It tells us about ourselves.
If you'd like to check out our other videos on the pyramids of Giza and Machu Picchu,